Charles. Oh, I forgot the name of the thing already. Oh yeah, the killers of the Dour Goon.
Well done. The art department does it again. You've done it again.
It was a good collaboration because you came up with the joke after I suggested the movie.
Well, isn't that how we split responsibilities? I'm the Sergeant of Humor.
We do. It's often quite good.
I don't think I am.
But we've got Joe Biden's, we're here with Bidenomics, Charles. I don't know, what's on your mind today?
Well, just in, the car that blew up on the bridge has been declared a likely terrorist act, which I think finishes Biden's political career. Because
I thought it just means the FBI did it.
No. Well, I mean, the mantra that everybody has been able to say since 9/11 is that there hasn't been.
Right.
And now this moron, and he really is a pathetic moron. We'll get into that in a second. Corrupt and pathetic, demented, sex maniac moron. But anyway, now we certainly can't say that.
We should actually note one thing, because we're not going to necessarily address this directly, but everything that we're addressing today is predicated on this, Charles. We need to commemorate that 60 years ago today, the trajectory of humankind was altered with the murder of one man, President John F. Kennedy.
Yes, indeed.
And that team seems to, still be in charge.
Was that today or was it the 23rd?
November 22nd, 1963.
Was it the 22nd? Okay.
Yeah. Today is the day that Roger Sharp stood in the Dallas police station and said, Lee Harvey Oswald has been accused of shooting the president.
Yeah, we do need to get into that. But if I could just finish the Niagara Bridge thing. Why that scenario is very serious is, first of all, it may not be the only thing that happens in the next 24 hours, Thanksgiving being a period where there are lots of parades and gatherings and their schedules are altered, so people aren't necessarily as careful as they might be.
Right.
So that may not be the only thing. But here we have Mayorkas and Biden and boot edge douchebag all saying that the southern border is secure, the transportation infrastructure is rock solid, and now we have a car going across this bridge and blowing up. How did it get through that checkpoint? How secure is our northern border? We talk about our southern border, but how secure is the northern border now that this happened? How many more incidents like this might happen? And even I sent you the video, and I don't know if our viewers have seen Cardi B, who I knew her name. I can't tell you one song that she ever sang.
How are her cousin's testicles?
What happened there?
Well, there's something with COVID, I thought. He got the COVID shot, and she said something, his testicles swelled up.
Oh, okay.
That was the last major Cardi B news.
Was she inspecting them? Or?
Well, I don't know. That's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
But it's very autumny out here, Charles.
It's what?
Very autumn-like.
It is indeed. Autumnal.
Yes.
But anyway, it's nearly winter, actually. But so she gave this very eloquent, frankly, rant where she just tore Biden and the Democrats and the progressives limb from limb with truth bomb after truth bomb,
And Michael Rappaport, too. People who hate Trump are realizing, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That wasn't so bad.
So, but, right. And so when you see, when the waxed head moron, Eric Adams, is up there saying, well, my solution, because I encouraged people from around the world to legally come across our southern border and come to a sanctuary city inside a sanctuary state, and they listened to me, and we've got over 130,000 that we know about so far, and we can't afford it. My solution is to cater to the illegals by, get this, giving them free turkeys.
Is he doing that?
Yes.
They don't even care about Thanksgiving or necessarily even like turkey.
How's a homeless person going to cook a turkey in a hotel room? Unless
When's the last time you saw a Mexican person ask for turkey?
I don't know. Well, it's not even Mexicans. It's Africans.
That's true.
And then I was in Gristedes, which had an electrical fire earlier in the week. And
discounted food.
Well, it was cleaner.
Pre-cooked.
Yeah, but I see this sign for a pre-cooked Thanksgiving meal where they say it could serve 6 to 8. Now, there's a big difference between 6 and 8.
Right.
Well, what do you think the sticker price for this meal of a turkey, mashed potatoes, fixing?
$300.
Very close, $280, $279. I mean, that's
a lot.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
And by some reckonings, under this mush-mouthed moron, The cost of Thanksgiving has gone up a minimum of 30% since Trump's final Thanksgiving in 2020. So, on every front, this guy stands revealed as an epic fool, dangerous and epic fool. And then, I had the pleasure of raising a daughter, and 6 is a very tender age, for a daughter. It really, for
Anybody.
girls. Well, but for girls in particular, your daddy's little girl or whatever. To have the president of the United States creep on a 6-year-old in a public setting and then say to her, "You are 17, aren't you?"
It's just weird. Like,
Well, it's fucking demented.
yeah.
I mean, it's the kind of thing, just that one performance, forget everything else
Yeah.
the guy has done. He needs to be removed from office, convicted, and incarcerated. Not simply for the 6-year-old issue, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy, the Me Too movement gave him a pass over, what's her name? Tara Reid. They stopped the book that was supposed to come out right before the election.
There's the owner of that crazy little car.
Is the person a clown, as my Lebanese friend would say?
They're putting things in it, though, right?
That's the other car.
The
Wait.
person with the blue looked like they were putting something in that little Fiago, whatever that thing is.
I think they're putting it in the car there,
Well,
but I could be wrong.
Doesn't
They're coming
matter.
out of that car. It doesn't matter.
Not very
But
important.
here's the Me Too movement giving a pass to Biden over Tara Reid, and increasingly the Tara Reid story that I know sounds more and more believable every
Yeah.
moment. And after repeatedly being, warned, he said, Jill said, "Well, my husband's just handsy." Does that explain why you were taking a shower with your teenage daughter, allegedly?
Something's wrong with her, too.
Yeah. With Jill, for
That's
sure.
what I mean.
Yeah. Because a lot is wrong with the whole fucking family.
Yeah. I guess you're not going to stand for that wacko unless something's wrong with you, too.
I think, sadly, what we learn, I'm fond of saying there's the bottom half of every class. There is a bottom half of every class, and if you were to grade fairly, they'd all fail.
What if the whole class is the bottom half of the class?
The whole universe.
We're like reconfiguring the negative, like irrational numbers. I don't even know what that means.
You got the honors class, and then you got the fools class.
They've been elected. Okay, so there was that guy who the hot dog vendor got him on video where he's like,
Oh
just
yeah, Sedowitz,
insulting
or
him.
Seldowitz, yeah. That was incendiary shit that this
Of
guy was saying,
course.
and I wonder about this story because you say what you want. Obama has been quoted, fairly quoted as saying, the most beautiful sound he knows is the sound of the calls to prayer. I think it's sunset, and I've listened to it. It is a beautiful sound.
It makes me so annoyed.
Well, it's a beautiful sound actually when you hear it and set to the music and the rhythm. And I don't understand the words. When you understand the words, you're like, what? This is not beautiful at all. But anyway, this guy supposedly I think his name's Seldowitz, has been repeatedly. If we had the time and the energy, we could go up to the corner all the way up in 83rd or 2nd and 2nd Avenue. But he's been day after day tormenting this.
Oh, really? I thought it was just one.
No.
That's weird. Why would he do that?
I don't know, but this is a guy who was on Obama's State
like
Department.
junior high school crap.
Wait, but he was under Obama era. He was on a senior role in the Mideast, representing American interests, negotiating with Israel and Palestine. He was a senior figure, and what he was saying was basically walking right up to this guy and slamming.
Ask him if he's raping.
Well,
and whatnot.
no, slamming the religion. I don't want to say what he said because it's so.
We'll get kicked off.
Yeah, I mean it's really incendiary shit.
Yeah, it was
So how
just insane.
Well, and it's probably not the first time he's done this.
But seriously, Charles, it struck me as the type of thing that like a mean, like
Right.
14-year-old kid, somebody old enough to like know stuff, but not old enough to know that that's like insane behavior that you don't do.
I mean, his father probably was a waiter at Peter Luger's. I mean, same kind of guy, he was well trained, just like Schumer's father was a rat catcher. It failed his job miserably.
Yeah. Well, he could have caught Schumer. That would have been helpful.
As Cardi B pointed out, we're going to be drowning rats, y'all. That's funny. I may be able to get through half of a Cardi B song, but
I actually can't even name a single Cardi B song.
it's probably,
I know who she is, of course.
course you do. Don't you have a big poster of her in your bed?
No. Oh, we're getting a lot of radio here.
Yeah, I think we want to head down. Peloton was this exercise operation that was doing well for a while, but it's crashing and burning.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Sure.
Do you want? I could treat you to a Dunkin' Donuts someday. So I know
Nah.
you like to have at least 3 helpings a day of that stuff.
No.
You moved on to Krispy Kreme?
Here's Skadden Arps, Charles.
Skadden is a fine firm.
But I
or
think
was
we
a
also
fine
have
firm.
Boys Schiller Flexner around here somewhere.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Boys Schiller Flexner, where Hunter Biden used to work, didn't they refuse? Something's happening where they're trying to not answer these subpoenas where Dana Remus got subpoenaed and they're trying to subpoena James Biden, and they're like, no.
Well, so they're different subpoenas, but my understanding is that on the one hand, the guy Kash Patel, who I think is very smart, was in the Trump administration. Yeah. He pointed out recently on a podcast, I don't know if it was his own or he was a guest, that the judge in one of the Trump cases, Chutkin, or whatever it is. Chutkin, worked at Boy Schiller, as did Hunter at a time when Boy Schiller was representing Burisma and Fuchsia GPS. You know?
I don't know if it's in that. I think it's down here.
So, I mean, I don't know if the goal here is to waste a lot of time and energy, assume that the general public is stupid and will, be led by the nose wherever they need to take them, and have this thing just tossed eventually, and so people will forget about it. But it would seem to me that, I'm not a lawyer, obviously, that this case, the judge should absolutely not
recuse herself.
She should recuse, and if she doesn't, I would just think on appeal, whatever she says, this case may well be tossed, but I could be wrong.
I got a news flash for you, Charles. I think there's a huge number of cases where judges with huge conflicts of interests deliberately get on there for the specific purpose of manipulating the outcome of the case. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it could be. And I guess, as I remember now, in the trial court, the facts are established in the trial court, and when it goes up on appeal, it's not matters of law. So maybe they're trying to get bad facts established.
They're always trying to do that. I mean, again, they are legal experts. Here's something I've observed about lawyers that I'm interested in hearing your point of view on, but they, as a general group, tend to think they know everything, and if they don't know everything, you need to talk to them about it in 60 seconds, and then they know everything they know about it, and they can solve it, and only they can do that.
Right.
So therefore, if you're Barack Obama or any of these asshole lawyers who became president, I think they start thinking about things in the context of the law, which makes sense. I mean, I'm always making these analogies about filmmaking and 3D cameras and stuff. So people always think about things in the context of what they know. And from that standpoint, like when Barack Obama puts out that executive order where he's saying, hey, the FBI can do this stuff, but we're going to set a new kind of legal precedent. We're going to do something, and then if nobody argues with it, or if somebody argues, we'll argue this or that. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that nonprofits and government agencies and private companies and individuals can get together and carry out the work that the government is supposed to do. And he paints it like a pretty picture, but it actually just means the tax-exempt money can be funneled to people to do illegal stuff, and then Obama's going to keep control of that network after he leaves office.
Well, again, I think the plan was to control the IRS, all aspects of the IRS, but especially the tax-exempt portion, so that you make sure that the IRS never refers for prosecution abuses. But in principle, according to what I've read, charities, full stop, may not engage in any illegal activity.
Of course.
So then it boils down to who decides to exercise discretion to prosecute. Is it somebody who's honest, which the answer is certainly not, or is it a bunch of corrupt people? And meanwhile, elephant ears, flapping gums, moron Obama is out there. Some would say, and when we look at Joe Biden and the problems of the Biden administration, these all started occurring under Obama's watch.
Well, Charles, let's go into the shops here and see if it's like specially done up for Christmas.
I'd be interested
don't-
in a Bentley.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they have a Bentley
Well, you
dealership in there.
Oh, you could just order me one on Amazon.
That's true. I think you probably would have
Thanks,
to make
Jason.
the payments.
I appreciate that. You're very kind.
Let's see. Well, they do have it
This
decorated.
looks like Joe
obviously.
Biden's birthday cake.
The baby?
No. All the lights there. That picture of his birthday cake was insane.
Oh, right, with the flames. Well, I guess they're trying to make a joke out of the fact that he's older than dirt. It's not too funny.
He's older than old dirt.
Exactly. You spray some water on the dirt to renew it. But
Yeah.
now there's also this issue where, Elon Musk has launched his thermonuclear lawsuit against Media Matters.
Which is good. I mean, Media Matters is an example of a fake charity. It is not a charity. You cannot, basically, you can't set up a hatchet firm to go after your political enemies and go after your enemies straight up, whether they're political or not, and say that that's a charity. It's not a charity. And I haven't studied the Musk lawsuit carefully, but the overview reading of it tells me that it's just what they did to Musk is character assassination in the guise of analysis. I mean, it was
It's
just
the same stuff that all of these guys are doing to everybody. They set up fake things, they put it out, they say, oh, look what Elon Musk is doing, look what Jason is doing.
So here's Brooks Brothers. Remember I said there was a Brooks Brothers?
So it's good that we now have a billionaire in the counter lawfare fight, but there's a problem in there, Charles.
Right. Well, before we get to that, if it's okay, the thing that I found interesting in the Zero Hedge piece, want to go up this way and back?
Wherever, yeah.
Was that the new president of this Media Matters is a reprehensible human being who had a blog where he laid out all kinds of very hateful
stuff.
speech.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, obviously they're not good guys. No one who has any
Nor is Brooks.
Brock,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Nobody who has any conscience would get into that kind of work. You have to be a psychopath to say, well, I'm going to base my livelihood and success on how effectively I can damage somebody else.
Destroy somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who would do that? I mean, I know some people who would do that, but it's hopefully, obviously, I have a lot of issues with Elon Musk, but I'm hopeful that this lawsuit will do something to bring attention to this problem. I guess Hyundai has electric Genesis now.
So I guess, so what, you buy the door? I'll just take a door.
Yeah.
Which door do you want, Jason? I'll buy you a door.
Well, that
want,
one
like, the
would match
left-hand-
my car.
All right, there you
I don't know if it
go.
would fit, though.
Let's put that in your living room.
I just realized there's a lot of floors to this place, but we don't need to go up and everything. It's just
It's a nice mall. This is a lot like the malls I was in Thailand.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's I don't think there's anything in here that I would buy.
Well, yeah, that's
expensive.
Me. Well, I just don't like shops. So
But the problem is, there's another guy who's been yapping a lot about the Elon Musk lawsuit. Do you know who Chris Pavlovsky is?
no.
He is the Canadian guy who created Rumble, and he's the CEO of that. And he also has Truth Social has a lawsuit. So Rumble is connected to Truth Social, Charles, because Truth Social uses the Rumble cloud, right?
Right.
And so there's got to be a pretty tight integration and lots of contracts signed between those two companies, which causes me to think that our buddy Chris Pavlovsky is going, or his lawyers at least, are going to have interacted with Stephen Biss.
Yeah.
And this lawsuit that Truth Social has is an absolute Stephen Biss piece of crap. So I've come to completely not trust Rumble. Should we go up there and look? Yeah. Check out how the holiday decoration
We'll
goes.
check out how the other half lives, or spends anyway.
This is good holiday special, Charles. People who can't come to New York can at least feel like,
Festivus special.
yeah, we need the poll. Or
What,
whatever.
the airing of the grievances, right?
Yeah, it's like they have a Festivus pole or a stick or something. But so we'll see, I guess, what happens. It's interesting. Elon Musk is being somewhat Chris Boozy-like, avoiding service in Goodman v. City of New York.
Well, did you see also on my, probably not on my Twitter,
Wow.
you haven't been on my, you can't go that way. My
No, but I'm
Twi-
saying it smells like coffee like crazy right
Yeah,
there.
it's a coffee shop. But We could even go up one more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your thing on Twitter?
Yeah, there's somebody on Facebook or somebody has put up this picture from the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s, where they're saying in the text it was the custom back then for wives on December 31st of every year to kneel down in front of their husbands and apologize for anything they may have done wrong during the year. This is a picture. And so a woman posted this on Facebook and said, you know, we should bring this tradition back. And of course, that ignited a firestorm of woke commentary and anti-woke commentary. It's pretty amusing.
Doesn't seem like a custom that would fit to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be arguing for it, but
no. So Charles, in about 5 minutes, we're going to make our way over to the First Amendment Forum to continue the conversation.
All right.
On odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com.
It's pretty fancy up here.
Subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Let's look at this balloon for a second, Charles. Was this here before, or is this a Christmas item?
I don't know. Look at that. Is that a fake?
I like that little special
flame?
effect. Yeah, that definitely is. I like that little special effect there. That looks like it's probably satin being blown to look like flame. Let's examine it closer. Can't really tell. But it's a nice decoration for sure. And we can see that, I guess that thing's totally decommissioned now that so many people fell off of it.
Fell or jumped?
Or whatever. Just definitely hit the ground in a way they weren't expecting.
It was this, place your phone here and stand on the sparkle spot for a picture-perfect holiday moment.
Yeah,
I don't know
so
that you want to do that.
And then someone will steal the phone. Merry Christmas. Go buy a new phone.
Thanks for your phone.
Right. They put that right outside the Apple store. Oh my God, I'm so angry at Apple right now. Did I tell you? I'm not going to get into it.
Now look, this seems to be vacant. Vacancies over here.
Well, it's a huge place, right? I mean, and the problem is, like, it's so premium. Wow, there's a Shake Shack over there. I didn't know that. There's a lot of stuff in here that you never get to because it's so premium downstairs. You walk in and you're like, well, can't afford anything here. Let's go.
Well, beyond that, I mean, the sales tax is 9%.
Looks like they've got a lot coming in there.
And aspirationally coming in.
Right.
Bidenomics at work, Jason. Bidenomics at work.
Well, and by the way, given that tomorrow is Thanksgiving and this is a big fancy mall in New York City, isn't this sort of empty?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. This is empty.
Yeah, I mean, this store, for example, Zara, I think is a big Spanish-owned chain, but it's not packed.
Now, Charles, I heard a thing that said they're negotiating some sort of ceasefire for a few days to release 50 hostages.
Well,
but that seems to fly in the face of the concept of not negotiating with terrorists.
Well, what about the concept of, who's actually behind this bomb in Niagara Falls? If it's, God forbid, Hamas, I'd say that deal is off.
I think it's the FBI.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Why they're like, we're not negotiating with terrorists. All right, let's negotiate. It's like, well,
our number one rule is we don't negotiate with terrorists. So let's do that.
Not on the first day.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, you just blew it.
Yeah.
They blew it.
Yeah.
Well, now, so we selected this Killers of the Dour Goon. Maybe, why don't you give people in the last minute here just a lead into why we selected that and what we're going to talk about in the First Amendment Forum.
Well, Biden doesn't understand much, but he's walking around now with 1,000 swords in his back as the Democrats desperately try to get him off the primaries and the ticket
like
for
a
20.
bull.
Yeah, and he's just, the picadors have used all their picks or whatever, and it's this bull who's just so filled with, I don't know, ketamine or something that he can still walk. But yeah. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I think he's being done in by his own party and by the deep state.
A lot of people think Gavin Newsom is going to be
Gavin Nuisance.
But then somebody on CNN or something said that the time to file is almost over.
That's concerning primaries. So the issue is that if Biden remains, I think we make a right here.
Seems like we can get outside there.
Well, we go down here. Just so.
Okay.
If Biden remains through the primary season and is anointed the Democratic candidate, and then croaks or has to be removed, the DNC doesn't have to go through primaries. They could just, after the convention, they could just say, look, yeah, Biden croaked, so it's pick a name.
Very good. Sounds like democracy. Definitely no threat to
Zelensky.
democracy. Yeah.
Put in Zelensky.
Yeah, that would be good. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Stay with us because we're going to be right back in about 5 minutes. You can watch on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, and subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth.